Welcome to this radio channel, and we are taking a look at solar activity as it's happening, and we are at the beginning of the week, Monday, August 6th, 2018, and continuing these reports. A lot of people say that they enjoy having these reports, so of course this is going to be a regular feature now. And also just to mention that there will be a few more videos, walk in the park with my radios and taking a walk, checking out what we can hear when we're outside of the home and just a little far away from houses and noise. So I expect some to come later today. I'll have probably a couple, and I'll have through the week I'll have more of them. So if you guys enjoy that, we'll be taking, of course, our little walks in the park to see what we can hear on the shortwave bands. So what's happening in the solar activity? Basically, there was a little sunspot that we talked about that appeared basically Friday and kind of disappeared almost as fast as it appeared. So really not much of an effect there. Briefly, solar flux went up above 70, but very little changes there. So what's to expect mostly this week is just checking out. We've been talking about coronal holes and how the solar wind might disturb our geomagnetic field. We haven't seen that much happening yet, but the coronal hole, there's one big one here that's getting into position here, and there's some expectation that that solar wind will maybe create some geomagnetic unrest. So there might be some moments where K-index moves up a little bit. We've been having, and we surfed through the weekend with K-index of 2 or less, which is actually very good for propagation of shortwave. And it's been 0 for the past few hours. Hopefully, maybe that will not affect too much, but expect that August, 7th, 8th, we might have K-index move to 3 or 4, maybe having a little bit of, unrest and degrading slightly the shortwave propagation. But for now, it's working, and turn on your radios and listen because conditions are quite good. Solar flux is low, yes, we'll have to, cope with that. Also the fact that, we're August 6th, we are now really slowly getting, and it's starting to show that we're getting into what looks much more like fall propagation than summer propagation, because the days are getting shorter now, and it's starting to show. And in the southern hemisphere, of course, the reverse effect, days are getting longer, so they are getting into, of course, the spring type propagation. Usually, August, September, October are 3 months that I love for propagation. Because the propagation due to the not just the shorter days, but the fact that the different patterns of propagation are actually enhancing a lot of the frequencies, and this is helping out. It's for me, winter or summer are kind of the two parts where it's not necessarily the best. I prefer, and I always preferred, the equinox period, the time around September, the time around March, for propagation of signals. It's kind of interesting to see what you can hear, but overall, all of the year is great for propagation. I've been listening to some signals this weekend. Propagation has been good. I've been receiving a lot of signals from different places. KBS World Radio 15575, not super strong. If I had no noise, it would be actually listenable, because I get S7, S8 on my meter when I get the signal. The problem is, at that frequency, 15575, I also have about S7 of noise. So it is noisy, which prevents me from listening, because if you remove the noise, KBS World Radio would actually be easy to copy, and that's direct from Korea. Just shows you that propagation isn't that bad, even though the solar flux is a little down. So expect maybe a little bit of, unsettled conditions for propagation, but turn on the radio and listen in. Listen in to the higher frequencies. We talked about lack of E-skip in the beginning of the summer. And one of the things that is interesting about this is there's been in the past 2 weeks like a resurgence of E-skip. There's a lot of it happening. I've been almost every day, 6 meter was open, that's 50 megahertz, and 10 meter band also, and the CB band, the 11 meter band. So you know what, go and check it out at any time of day or night. This could be happening, and you know, it's another way of propagation. It's another way to listen to, and a shortwave, and you know, you never know what you can actually hear in the 25 megahertz and above frequency range when that's happening. So turn on your radios. For now, propagation is good. Things are pretty good, even though the solar flux is low. Maybe some, you know, unsettled conditions moving in towards Tuesday or Wednesday, 7th or 8th. And of course, we'll update the report this coming Thursday and talk about what was happening and what will be happening for the weekend coming up. If you enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching our videos.